powdered donuts, sugar candy. Welcome to another episode of the ReUp. Happening a little late this evening, but still made it out. Welcome to the ReUp again. My name is Jason Delgado. This is the lovely, well-lit Orsini Studios in beautiful Los Angeles, California. And I have had quite a difficult day, but we decided to crank out a little bit of that almost gonna quit out, but decided to push through type of energy for this ReUp podcast. If you are watching on the video, seared my hand, and it's blistering. I decided to become an all-time, full-time trying to be chef, and was creating a little steak banana thing. Put the steak in the pan for searing, put the pan in the oven for baking, took the pan out of the oven, took the steak out of the pan, everything going great. Now it's time to wash the dish. Grab the pan. Ugh. I screamed, I shook. Like that type of pain where it's like you're just shaking and like looking around. Your lower lips quivering. It was just an awful, terrible. I'm still in lots of pain thinking about it. It was a very, very traumatic experience. And so I held on to ice, and I held on to my emotional outbursts. And I pushed through. And so now it is in pain, but it is much better. I put ointment on it, or as much like moisturizer stuff that I had. But it was an insane amount of pain. I haven't been in that much pain in a very long time. So it was an eye-opening experience. It made me actually change my whole persona of what I was going to talk about in the podcast. Because, the podcast today was going to just be about how, we tried all this normal stuff and now everything's going bad again, It's like, we got baseball coming, or it was coming back, and then that got kicked out today, and everybody caught this COVID, and now baseball's over, and then they were going to open up bars inside, then they stopped opening up bars inside, and now, who knows what's next, with all this stuff coming down the pipe as far as, people going to get unemployment or people going to get stimulus. It's like gripping onto this normalcy or trying to get things back to normal. And I was just going to be like, it ain't right. I just try to give my spin. It ain't right. It ain't right that we do what we do and we ain't taking care of the way we need to be. But the truth of the matter is, I seared my hand and it hurt. And when I got down to the bottom of it, I just wanted to survive. I didn't care. I was just like, let everything painful go. Just let the pain go away. I don't care. I'll do whatever. Just let the pain go away. And I was holding on to ice and doing anything I can. And I come to this point of realization where, it really doesn't matter. If you told me, put your hand up the cat's ass and it'll stop it from hurting as much, I'd be like, I took care of that cat from a baby. So, this is like give and take. I mean, anything. I would do anything to stop feeling pain. It made me realize it's like a lot of people. A lot of people would do anything to stop feeling pain. You go through these emotional things in your day-to-day, and you kind of get by them because you go like, it's almost Friday, or once lunch is here, we'll be good, or at the end of the day, hump day, we're almost there, halfway through the week. There's this Navy SEAL thing where they say if you want to quit, you just say it every day. You go, at the end of today, man, once today is over, I'm quitting. I'm never having to do this. I'm going to ring that bell and it's over. And then you wake up, you go, man, that's it. This is the last day. I'm never doing this again. After today, if I make it through today, I'm never doing this again. And you do that every day. And if you're a Navy SEAL, it makes you stronger. If you're just a regular average person who wants to just exist and live in the world without needing purpose or place every second of every moment of every day, it's not. It's too much pressure. It's too much hopelessness. You have this thing looking out in front of you where you're like, midweek doesn't matter. Friday doesn't matter. All these things are are just kind of in these loops that don't seem to be ending. And it's just, I do anything to get out of this pain. I do anything to get out of this pain. And what I wound up doing to get out of the pain, what really helped, was doing nothing and just taking a deep breath. I had ointment, I had ice, but eventually I had to let go of the ice, I had to let go of the ointment, I just had to let the pain hit, and I had to just deal with the pain and say, hey, this is what the pain is going to feel like. And I dealt with it, and I breathed, and I felt the sear. It's like it was just searing my hand over again. I was like, and I just concentrated on my breath, concentrated on just breathing and allowing my body to feel it and it to flow through me and not moving and lying completely still as possible, not wasting any energy, but all these things to try and just keep my mind in a place where it only focused on breath and that the sear could just pass. And it's just something in my mind just believed it would just pass. And it passed. And I don't know if it's too gobble gobble or spiritually gooba goo, but I really do feel like that's what we're looking at. We just need to take a pause. We need to take a stop. We need to take a breath on everything. We can't say some baseball, some not baseball, some this, some not that, some there, some not there. Every place that stopped is now on vacation right now. Places that just said, hey, we're not going to just fussy our way about it. We're going to fine you if you're outside without a mask. We're going to do these things. We're going to stop these gatherings. Period. 6 weeks. And now they're vacationing and they won't let us there. And I think that's what we need. We need to realize that no ointment, no ice. As much as I love it, no stimulus checks. We need to stop this bleeding. We need to give people money. We need to stop with the need to charge for rent. We need to take a big old pause and a big deep breath. And I think that's the only way we're going to resolve this. Because right now we're doing our best, and our best isn't good enough. And I really want to see my parents for the holidays. I really want to see family. I really feel like if we just do our best for 6 weeks and really lock it down, and even if it feels extremely uncomfortable, we just do it for 6 weeks, we will get it done. We could be like Europe, and that's sad. The fact that, we used to be big dog, and now it's like, I heard, now Tenet, this new Christopher Nolan movie, will be opening up in Europe internationally before in America. America was the place you opened the movies, and then everybody got it. We're the big. No, not the case anymore. Because we just can't keep masks on. So now they got to start stuff other places, and then we get it. Once everybody's gone. I saw these memes of all these people with camcorders. Now the international movies are first. But, yeah, it's just, it's like, you could say, oh, well, that's the American ego, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, it's nice to kind of be in a position where, you're the innovator. You're the top dog. You're the place where the things are conceived and created. And so hence, picking order. But just because we can't get our stuff together on some health issue, where we're losing all these sort of things that make us, unique and special and top tier. And not getting Christopher Nolan movie first proves that. And that's in its own little microcosm way it does. And unfortunately, it's one of those where I just feel like, what else is going to happen first? All these things we were supposed to get. We were supposed to get this Olympic thing on. Maybe we won't do the Olympics here because we can't keep our stuff together, so we got to move it over to this other place. We're going to do NBA here, but, maybe we could do NBA somewhere else, Why can't people just go to Europe? We do the whole NBA in Europe. You know what I mean? It starts to become this thing where we lose our identity. We lose our specialness. We lose the thing that makes us great. And people say, we never were great. It's BS, This whole thing was started by 4 19-year-olds in New York. Watch Hamilton on Disney+. I mean, come on. A bunch of kids started this. Big old balls trying to make a difference. And they made a difference. I mean, they proved that they could do it. And they did it. And so that energy, is what we do. That's how we roll. We roll with a bit of pompousness. Roll with a bit of ego. Roll with a bit of assuredness. And that assuredness is kind of slipped, Now we're too sure of ourselves. We're too pompous. We're too into that into that selfishness. We got to realize that those emotions, those feelings that come about feeling like we're losing our freedom, we're losing our privileges, that comes at a cost. Well, if we don't give to the common good, then the common good's going to pass us by. You know what I mean? Like, all these other places are just going to do their thing without us, and they're just going to be like, hey, you clearly can't get yourself together. If once you get yourself together, then maybe we can let you back in. But now, it's like they see how separate, they see how tangent we are, and they know that, there's no unity. There's nothing that brings us together. We're all just complacent. That's terrible. It's a terrible image to put out there. And it makes me sad. And that's why I think the breath, the great pause, the great breath is what's required. So that's just going to say, hey, we're going to get better. Things are going to be good after this, but we're going to pause. We're not going to need to do these things just to keep up airs, because the airs are over. You know what I mean? The emperor's new clothes kind of deal. You know what I mean? Like, we really are exposed, and we really need to. Not even from international danger. I mean, whatever aside, but like, just from just looking bad, just bad image, bad optics, bad vibe. Just makes us feel like, hey, we can't realize the common good is with each other, and everybody else can. We need that deep breath. I think we've burned ourselves on the pan. We have seared our hand. And the bars are closing. Yeah, they took away sports. Who knows who's going to have this bubble? I saw there was a Twitter, this girl who I guess is like, I don't know, somebody who hangs out with the NBA stars, maybe a stripper or whatever. And she's like, I got invited to the bubble. Your season's over. It's true, man. Then you hear Lou Williams. Lou Will was at a strip club somewhere when he was going to visit, like at a funeral, and they went to a strip club. No, it's like we just can't hold it together. We just feel too much. Hey, I'm in America, man. We don't pass up. That's European stuff. Everybody, we got to stop and do everything for everybody else, not for ourselves. That's some weak stuff. Yeah, weak stuff's keeping us indoors, man. Might keep us indoors longer, Or we just let it go. Or we just say, hey, we're all going to get it. We're all going to get it, and those who make it. Those who don't. I mean, they're trying to push kids back into school. They're trying to, get all these sports, the NFL. I don't know. I guess maybe, that's our way. We're like, hey, we live strong, we go strong, however it goes, And we do your best, but hey, we out here. And maybe that's the way, maybe that's the only way, because to be honest with you, there is a part of it where it doesn't feel like they're going to, like they're going to make it an enforceable thing. I think they're just going to kind of patchwork it until, something dramatic happens, if it hasn't already. So hopefully take it on ourselves to, do the right thing. Wear your mask when you're out. Don't try to go out too much. I went and I saw a friend, we're outdoors 6 feet, but still, it's like, I'm not going to start a house party. I'm not going to go to secret parties with a bunch of people. I'm going to do my best to do the right thing and try to stay. You hear about this chain smoker thing that happened? There's a concert where everyone was 6 feet apart. Everyone got their temperature taken. It's like, dude, there's 3,000 people there. What are you, out of your mind? Come on. It's just this irresponsibility where people are like, no, 500 people had jobs. It's like, come on. We're worried about jobs, bro. Come on. We've hit the point where we either need to say deep breath or bust, man. Deep breath or just everybody's getting it. I'm just holding my hand into the water the whole time. Icing my hand until it falls off, But we're doing our best. And we're trying to keep ourselves good and positive and taking the lessons from the outside and using them to make ourselves better, our lives better, and our spirits brighter. I don't really have too much going, as I've been trying to kind of work on a couple little projects here and there. Working on some scripts, working on some cartoon things, doing a little acting, and so it hasn't been too much review stuff. I've been trying to get through Ghost of Tsushima, but it's a slow roll, just because there's so many things to do, and video games take time. And I saw this thing that Joe Rogan was like, people play video games, total waste of time, bro. And yeah, he's right, to a degree. But I think that a lot of lessons I've garnered from video games. Completionism, finish something. You start something, you finish it, even if it's difficult. And this idea that you quit on something, I think it's nice if you're going to teach sort of, stick-to-itness, a good way to do it is to put a nice carrot, you know what I mean? Like, you get the master sword if you do this, and so the boss is hard, and you fight, but you do it. And that kind of stick-to-itness, it transfers. It translates over to work. It translates over to projects. It translates over to working with people, I did a raid, back in Destiny. We used to do these raids all the time, and you learn working with 6 people to have a common goal, man. That's a good skill, and you have to do it with verbal communication and emotes. And if you can get that kind of vibe and get that kind of energy good, that's a skill you could take with you. And so sure, you could deem it as a waste of time from the cursory sort of, surface standpoint. But on the real to real, you know what I mean? You learn a lot. You learn a lot. You learn about yourself. You learn about your break point. You learn about, like, your frustration point. Because those are the things you got to beat. You want to remain calm, cool, and clear-minded as much as possible. And when that boss keeps spamming you, it's a good way to practice. In one man's personal opinion. So, I'm going to try to get some Ghost of Tsushima so I can kind of, finish that out. I feel like that's a good game I want to finish. And then, I'm going to play a little bit of PC. Horizon Zero Dawn is coming, so I'm excited about that. Going to make a video about the Xbox Series fail. And the wasteful Halo, but we'll talk about that on the Gamer Hype coming up at the end of the week. But for now, we'll leave you with that. And we'll leave you that we have video games to look forward to and each other to look forward to. And hopefully we will persevere and we will come together for the common good and realize that together we can get through this. Together we all just got to agree to wear masks for 6 weeks and not be dumb, and we'll be fine. And we'll be on vacation again. But until then, let's hope we make it through. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay clean. And we will see you on the next one. Thanks for joining.